stuff keeps coming out, and you're like, oh my god.
This is the O2C Media Network. This is Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxter. Sponsored by Nhl Sportsbook. Let's make it interesting. And by the L2C Media Network. Now, with all the headlines, the details, and everything else in the world of sports, here's our man, Steve the Baxman Baxter. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. How y'all doing? Before we go any further, I'm feeling, and it's great to have you all here today. Let me direct that light there to just tilt that way. There we go. To the right. There. No, my little glory. Anyway, we got some sports coming up and everything else there. And so if you're ready, I'm ready. Everybody else? Here we go. Let's give you some headlines, and boy, do we have headlines. Okay, sorry about the hair. I'm going to get it cut somehow. Somewhere. Okay, let's all do this. The backdrop of Texas. Hi there. Let's try that again. The backdrop of Texas' disappointing 2020 season was a boiled over controversy regarding the school's alma mater, the Eyes of Texas. In the wake of the Black Lives Matter movement last summer, Longhorn Athletics across all sports made it clear they wanted their university to implement several changes. Most notably, they asked that song be replaced with a newer song without racist undertones, while lifting the requirement for players to sing it after games. And while the university moved forward with some of those demands, it kept the alma mater with the caveat that it would teach its origins, which are traced to minstrel shows with performers of blackface during the early 1900s. Still, the Eyes of Texas was a season-long ordeal that nearly came to a head in October following the loss to Oklahoma, when most of the team headed to the locker room instead of staying on the field for a song. The idea of not singing or otherwise removing the song angered many fans and donors, and now we know just how much. I'm speaking ahead. A collection of emails from the U of T alumni and donors were obtained by the newspaper, the Texas Tribune, and boy, if those details are very ugly. The publication notes that more than 70% of the nearly 300 people who emailed university president Jay Hartzell's office about the Eyes of Texas from June to October of last year demanded that the school keep playing it. Around 75 people threatened to stop supporting the school financially, though whether anyone actually followed through wasn't specified. While Texas has more than 500,000 living alumni, some of the emails obtained by Open Records requests included options such as, quote, "It's time for you to put the foot down and make it perfectly clear that the heritage of Texas will not be lost. It is sad that it is offending the blacks. As I said before, the blacks are free, and it's time for them to move on to another state where everything is in their favor. Less than 6% of our current student body is black," wrote Larry Wilkinson, a donor who graduated in 1970, quoting a statistic UT Austin officials have stated they're working to improve. "A dog cannot be allowed to wag the dog, and the dog must instead stand up for what is right. Nothing forces those students to attend UT Austin. Encourage them to select an alternate school now," end quote. Former coach Tom Harriman knew that forcing players to sing a song that may be offensive to them was a near impossible task. While he attempted to keep both sides calm, he strongly supported his players and pushed against them being told to shut up and play on Saturday. Herman was fired for performance, but the content of these emails clearly show there is no pressure behind the field on how boosters want the program to run. So be it. Now Steve Sarkisian inherits a precarious position. Texas likely isn't the only school with boosters who share his mindset. But Longhorn donors do seem to be louder about it. He's already said the song will continue to be sung after games this year. Wow. Weird. Weird, and wiki weird. Okay, then the NBA. Well, the Atlanta Hawks made their little announcement. So here we go. The Atlanta Hawks fired coach. Yeah, they also fired a writer. The Atlanta Hawks have fired Coach Lloyd Pierce, the team announced on Monday. Pierce had been the team's coach since the beginning of the 2018-2019 season and oversaw a rebuilding period for the franchise after a stretch of sustained mediocrity. Pierce went 63 and 120 overall during his tenure, thanks to an extremely young roster. But after a free agent spending spree this offseason, Hawks ownership clearly expected more immediate results. General Manager Travis Schlenk said in a statement, quote, "We would like to thank Lloyd for his work and commitment to not only the Hawks organization, but the city of Atlanta. He and his wife, Melissa, are tremendous people who have made a positive impact throughout this city. We have high expectations for our team on the court, and we believe by making this change, now that we can have a strong second half of the season." End quote. Well, those have not yet come. The Hawks are 14-20 with the All-Star break approaching. At this moment, they are the number 11 seed in the Eastern Conference. That would not even earn them a spot in the play-in tournament if the season ended today. Atlanta had dealt with injuries to most of their free agent signings, as the core foursome of Danilo Gallardo, Rondo, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Chris Dunn has played only 49 combined games all season. Former Indiana Pacers coach Nate McMillan, who joined Pierce's staff this season, has accepted the job on an interim basis after going like this when he heard he was being considered. Praying that he didn't have to do it. The Hawks were initially uncertain if he would accept the position based on his loyalty to Pierce. McMillan coached the Hawks for 3 games this season when Pierce was away from the team attending the birth of his second child. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Hawks ownership has got a playoffs or bust mandate for the front office and coaching staff right now. Those expectations are not being met. Whether they will be met or not is another question entirely, but without being in position to make the playoffs at this moment, management felt it was time to make a change. Pierce's tenure with the Hawks will end without a playoff appearance. We'll find out, won't we? It's weird. I have a dream of seeing 3 Doors Down featuring here we come in concert. So keep up your here we come. Let's get back with more fun and excitement. And here we go. NFL news, and we got a trifecta of NFL news. So if you're ready, as 3 football teams are saying bye-bye to their players, including, well, they're saying bye-bye to actually quarterbacks. Here we go. When Washington quarterback Alex Smith went public last week with how the franchise did not seem to support him in his miraculous return from a serious leg injury, it appeared to signal the end of his time in Washington. Well, according to a new report, that breakup will come sooner rather than later. On Monday morning, Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network reported that Washington is expected to part ways with Smith in the coming days. The report confirmed by NFL insider for CBS Sports, Jonathan Jones. And, well, releasing Smith reportedly saved nearly $15 million. No wonder that dude from Amazon wants to buy him. Now, while Washington hasn't had consistency at the QB position since the days of Kirk Cousins, Smith was without a doubt the best option they had over the past 3 years. In 2018, he had Washington at 6-3 and atop the NFC East before going down with a gruesome leg injury that almost cost him his life. After just 1 year off, Smith returned to the field in 2020. Went 5-1 as a starter and helped Washington secure an NFC East title for the first time since 2015. Smith wrapped up the season by being named the 2020 NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Now, despite all the adversity Smith had to successfully battle through, the franchise believed his career was done, he said. Smith told GQ's Clay Skipper, "I never thought I was coming back. When I decided to come back, I definitely threw a wrench in the team's plan. Wahaha. They didn't see it, didn't want me there, didn't want me to be a part of it, didn't want me to be on the team. The roster didn't want to give me a chance. Mind you, it was a whole new regime. They came in, I'm like the leftovers, and I'm hurt, and I'm this liability." Now, as Jason LaConfora, the other NFL insider for CBS, wrote last week, the underbelly NFL transactions does not leave much room for Cinderella stories. Smith, who was drafted by the 49ers with the top pick in the 2005 NFL draft, will now hit the free agent market for the first time in his career. There will be interest in him, but the majority of that interest will be in his services as a backup or mentor instead of leading the franchise as a starting signal caller. As for Washington, it's likely back to the drawing board yet again at the quarterback position since Smith went down with his leg injury in November 2018. Washington's had 6 different quarterbacks. Wow. And while we're at it, another NFL report. And this sort of happy news. During the 17 days that J.J. Watt was a free agent, the Texan star was connected to multiple teams. For the most part, the Cardinals never really seemed to be in the conversation, which is one reason why it was so shocking on Monday when Watt announced on Twitter that he would be signing with Arizona. It's also shocking that a fake Peloton account fooled America, but that's another story. Now, although it was surprising to see Watt sign a 2-year, $31 million deal with the Cards, the move makes a lot of sense. And why? Well, simple. Watt is, of course, familiar with the defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph. The two have long history that dates back to Watt's rookie year in 2011 when Joseph was the defensive backs coach on Houston's staff. Joseph ended up spending a total of 3 years in Houston, learning under them Texans defense coordinator Wade Phillips, and to this day, Joseph still uses many of the same philosophies. It's pretty darn good. Number 2, Watt gets team up with Chandler Jones. That's right. Although Watt managed to stay healthy last year, he ended 2020 with the lowest total of his career in any season. where he played all 16 games. Now, on the surface, putting together a 5-sack season might make it seem like Watt was struggling, but the truth is, a big reason why these struggles happen is because nearly every opposing offense was focusing on him. Watt saw more double teams than any other pass rusher in the NFL, and when you're being double teamed, it's not easy to be productive in Arizona. Now, Watt should almost certainly see fewer double teams, and that's because he's going to be on a defensive line that's also going to have Chandler Jones rushing the passer. Now, over the past 9 years, Watt and Jones have been the two most productive pass rushers in the NFL when it comes to sacks. And third reason, Cardinals better positioned in case they lose Hassan Reddick. And one of the biggest questions the Cards are going to face this offseason is whether they should bring back Hassan Reddick after a career year that saw him tally 12.5 sacks. It's not going to be cheap to keep him, and Arizona knows that. Cardinals could hit him with the franchise tag, but at an estimated cost of $15.66 million, that might end up being something Arizona can't afford since they only have roughly $11 million in cap space right now. Big fourth reason, Watt goes to a contender. If one thing was clear with Watt's free agency tour is that he wanted to play for a contender, and the Cardinals definitely fit that bill heading into 2021. Last season, the Cards missed the playoffs because they lost the tiebreaker to the Bears for the last spot in the NFC during their 8-8 season. The Cardinals lost 5 of their 8 games by just 1 score, and 3 of those 5 one-score losses came by 3 or fewer points. Basically, the Cardinals were competitive in almost every game they played, and they were just a few plays away from possibly going 10-6 or even 11-5. When you're that close, one player could put you over the edge, and Watt may be that one player. And the final reason, Watt gets to play against the Texans. That's right. J.J. Watt probably won't ever admit it, but you have to think that game chance to beat up on the Texans probably factored in at least slightly into his decision. Although the Cards only get to play the Texans once every 4 years, the good news for Watt is that the next meeting between the two teams will come in 2021 in Arizona. So good luck, JJ, as you meet your old team while playing for the new one. Yay. Okay, let's keep going on this NFL ride of ours we seem to be taking. Then we'll do some scores and everything else. You know the drill. We do things with relative, somewhat relative goofiness. Here's our third quarterback call sheet.
Arsenio, I told Eddie this story, but it was just Eddie on the show last time. When, you remember there was a party
there we go. See? You gave me the wrong sports story.
To your house, and my wife and I were the first ones to arrive, which was embarrassing. But we walk in the door, and you guys are sitting on the
Anyway, our last NFL story, the 49ers of San Francisco made the headlines for something pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Daddy, you know.
That's right. We have a bit of, tell Crumpton News, we have a bit of a lull when it comes to the quarterback carousel this offseason, but that was to be expected. There's still so many unknowns that could affect how teams go about acquiring a new signal caller, such as the cap not being set, the upcoming NFL draft, and then, of course, Deshaun Watson's particular situation. Teams are still poking around, however, and on Monday, Joe Person of The Athletic reported that the San Fran 49ers called Carolina Panthers about their man Teddy Bridgewater. No information is available on how deep the trade talks got, but this is still a very interesting development. Just last week, 49ers GM John Lynch said that there was no doubt Jimmy Garoppolo would be his quarterback in 2021, but this recent report would indicate there's some doubt to be had. Garoppolo had a career year in 2019 as he passed for 3,978 yards, 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, while the 49ers went 13-3 and made it all the way to Super Bowl. Super Bowl LIV this past season. I think it's 54. Yeah, it is 54. Garoppolo went 3-3 in his 6 starts and threw for just 1,096 yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. In all, he missed 23 games over the past 3 seasons due to injury. So the 49ers are at least poking around to see if there's a veteran they can bring in to back up Garoppolo should he struggle to stay healthy. Now, as for Bridgewater's future, it appears it's not in Carolina. Last offseason, Panthers Inc., the former New Orleans Saints quarterback, to a 3-year deal. His play in 2020 left a bit much to be desired, however, so he threw for 3,733 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, while going 4-11 as Stada. He was reportedly involved in offers the Panthers made to the Lions for Matthew Stafford, and it's been well reported how interested Carolina is in potentially acquiring Watson from the Texans. While Bridgewater will likely be playing football elsewhere this season, Carolina is not in a rush to deal him away. The Texans have yet to admit what is available via trade, and we still have the 2021 NFL draft to work through. In Ryan Wilson's latest mock draft, he has the Panthers taking North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance with the number 8 overall pick. Drafting and rolling with a new quarterback in 2021 is something Panthers head coach Matt Rule has addressed before, but it is certainly not a given. DC through.
When we in an interview, it's just like us laughing and inside stuff, like we say, only that smell, like man, later on, and screaming and falling out.
Okay, let's get you before we go to the big board of fun, the AP Top 25. We got some scores we got to get to. Let's first go to the pro route, and that is the NBA. Let's go to it. Yes, sir. We're going to it. And here we go. 5:47 left to play in the third quarter. Charlotte Hornets losing to the Portland Trailblazers 73-69. Ding that bell. There we go. Final scores for the rest: Mavericks 130, Magic 124, 76ers 130, Pacers 114.
Did you watch him on that show?
Pelicans over the Jazz 129-124. Denver Nuggets over Chicago Bulls 118-112. You got the Nets over Spurs in overtime 124-113. Cavaliers back to their winning ways, beat the Houston Rockets 101-90. There you go.
You know, it was weird. He got mad at me once. Like, he won't text you. He got mad at me once.
Oh, baby.
Because I did an interview and he said I didn't mention him. But sometimes people.
Okay, we're going to go now from pro basketball to pro hockey, and then we got college stuff for you.
He emailed it back to me. I think someone in his office did. The strangest transmission I've ever had.
Here we go.
That's crazy. That's what I wrote on my ballot in November, actually. Are there cast members coming to America that you guys had not seen
Let's get to the NHL scores, and we got some games from the West Coast that are continuing. And here we go. Early in the third period, the Toronto Maple Leafs lead the Edmonton Oilers 3-0. Also early in the third period, the Minnesota Wild lead the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2. Early in the third, St. Louis Blues over the Anaheim Not-So-Mighty Ducks 4-2. And with just 2:13 left before the second intermission, Sharks and Avalanche are tied at deuce. Final scores in overtime, the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Florida Panthers by a score of 3-2. Calgary Flames and the Ottawa Senators. Senators lead 5-1. Boy, that's not a prediction. I don't know what. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we forgot to do this. In the Hurricanes-Panthers game, Nekus for Carolina, 1 goal, 2 assists. Nedeljkovic of Carolina, 44 saves. And Dreiger for Florida, 28 saves. Flames and Senators, you had Batherson for Ottawa with 2 goals, Murray for Ottawa with 27 saves, and Stützle for Ottawa 2 assists. Final score, another final score, the Winnipeg Canucks blanked the Jets. Vancouver had a little brief moment. Anyway, there we go. Demko, Schmidt, and Lowry. Demko and Schmidt for Vancouver. Lowry for Winnipeg Canucks 4. Winnipeg Jets 0. Batherson for Ottawa 2 goals. Murray for Ottawa 27 saves. And Stützle with 2 assists. Stars and Lightning postponed due to COVID.
Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months.
Oh, God. Blessed Americana. It's going to be one of those days, one of those freaking nights, too. And that does it for the weirdness that is, of course, our scoreboard. All right, let's rock it and roll it. College basketball, we got you. Here are the top 25. Do we have top 25? Yes, we do. We'll go to top 25 plus 1. Missouri in 26th ranking. Oklahoma 25th. Clemson 24th. Purdue 23rd. BYU 22nd. Virginia Tech 21st. Wisconsin 20th. USC 19th. 18th is Virginia. 17th is Oklahoma City. 16th Creighton. 15th Loyola Christian. 14th Texans. 13th Kansas. Villanova 12th, Florida State 11th, and now for the top 10. Arkansas, Houston, Ohio State. I think Houston we're going to be a nice little chatty chat, but I guess didn't make it. Arkansas 10th, Houston 9th, Ohio State 8th, Iowa 7th. Iowa 7th, Alabama 6th. West Virginia in 5th, Illinois in 4th, Baylor 3rd, Michigan 2nd, and Gonzaga still on top. No losses. They are 24-0. What a team this year.
Because you know that all people deserve dignity and love. When you live life like that,
All right. All right. We take some time to let you know that this broadcast, our scoreboard, is as always sponsored by Nhl Sportsbooks. Let's make it interesting. Download the mobile app. And remember, download responsibly. If you have any gambling problems here in Michigan, call 1-800-270-7177. A reminder that right now there is turbulence in Dallas. Okay, let's tell you that tonight on the Mercado Law channel, Nick and his guest will be talking about the internet, the internet keeps bullying Nick, and Clarence Thomas must save us all. Find out more coming up tonight with the humble Minnesota attorney, one Nick Ricada. He has a great show and some great people. Please watch with humbleness.
It's so good to see you. The neighborhood seems to be thriving. Well, that's that gentrification. You know, when the color man had this neighborhood, didn't have the white man move in, he got corporate houses and a dog park.
All right.
Brownstone on Fox Boulevard is worth $10 million. No, Brownstone ain't worth no $10 million.
I will tell you.
$10 million. Get me a Tesla.
I will tell you, he's fun. If you didn't watch him on his coverage of CPAC or of some of the impeachment hearings, Nick was fun, had some great guests, and he was better than the networks. So catch Lost Playing Interwebs with the humble Minnesota attorney Nick Ricada, midnight in the East, 11 in the Central Time Zone. For the rest of you, you figure it out. In fact, he is on right now. So as they say, please, right for us, give him a view. Then feel free to come back and totally enjoy the rest of this broadcast. So there you go. We've done did our little homages. It is now time. Get ready. We mean it. It's time for men's college basketball scores. That's right. It is time for that. It is that moment in time that everybody says, hey, what's happening in college basketball? Well, we don't know. No, actually we do. And if you are the Michigan State Spartans tomorrow, you got a lot to do. And here's why. As they say. He got an old lady's phone number because she thought he was a real old dude. That's fantastic. Anyway. And did you call? Kept the makeup. Yeah, not only did I call. No, never mind. Let's get to it. Scores for men's basketball. I love these pauses. Why? If you had a part that you thought Tracy would be great for, here we go. Now we gotta wait for everything to loot. You know, from the very beginning, up until the third draft of the script. Number 17, Oklahoma State defeated 16th Oklahoma, 79-75, 21 ranked Virginia, 6-2, 51 winner over Miami of Florida. Western Kentucky, 71-59 over Florida International. Yeah. SFA, 79-66 winner over Central Arkansas. Dayton 55-52 winner over St. Bonaventura. Marist a 65-52 winner over Quinnipiac. Radford a 67-52 winner over Hampton. St. Joseph a 76-73 winner over Richmond. St. Louis a 78-57 winner over Massachusetts. Winthrop an 83-54 winner over High Point. Campbell a 63-57 winner over Gardner-Webb. Nebraska 72-51 winner over Rutgers. Nichols State an 87-71 winner over Northwestern State. The Qs, Syracuse 72-70 winners over North Kakalaki. Longwood, I said Longwood. Thank you. A 77-61 winner over UNC Asheville. Sam Houston invaded the Houston Baptists and won 83-70. Emory University a 66-47 winner over A&M Corpus Christi. New Orleans an 88-72 winner over UIW. Texas Southern a 68-58 winner over Alabama A&M. Jackson State a 64-58 winner over Arkansas Pine Bluff. In overtime, Mississippi Valley over Grambling 67-63. Prairie View over Alabama State 76-7. Oregon over Arizona 80-69. Colorado State 74-44 winner over Air Force. And Washington State and Arizona stayed home. Decided they don't know exactly just what to do. But hey, we're glad to have provided them some entertainment. Okay, time now to check on the ladies. Let's see how they did this evening. By the way, we're 12 days, 16 hours, 45 minutes, and 51 seconds away from Selection Sunday. So that's okay. Let's keep going. Number one, Uconn, a 63-53 winner over Marquette. 6th-ranked Baylor, 64-57 winner over Texas. Butler, an 86-81 winner over 25th-ranked DePaul. Farley Dickinson, a 72-66 winner over Sacred Heart.
Very cool. Only pay for what you need.
New Mexico, 97-65 winner over Utah State. Wagner, or is it Wagner? A 65-57 winner over Central Connecticut State. Air Force, a 75-68 winner over Colorado State. Lamar University, a 58-48 winner over UIW. Alabama A&M, a 64-36 winner over Texas Southern. Mount St. Mary, 56-43 winner over St. Francis of Pennsylvania. Alabama State, a 77-53 winner over Prairie View. Central Arkansas, 62-47 winner over McNeese. Jackson State, an 84-61 winner over Arkansas Pine Bluff. Grambling, 78-54 winner over Mississippi Valley. Oklahoma defeated Texas Tech 88-79. Seton Hall, a 59-43 winner over St. John. Kansas State over TCU in overtime, 79-76. And A&M Corpus Christi over Houston Baptist, 50-43. That is the women. That is the women. That's right. Rabbage. You realize we are 15 minutes away from ending this fun-filled fiesta? Yes, this is true. Okay, more stuff for you before we get to more headlines, including some media bites for you. And UFC 259 is in the news. Would you like to hear why? With 3 title fights top the marquee. That's right. 3 of them, kids. With 3 title fights, top the marquee in the deep fight card featuring upwards to 15 bouts Saturday. UFC 259 has the feel of a supercard. Light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz headlines the pay-per-view card from the UFC Apex in Vegas against reigning middleweight king Israel Adesanya. Women's featherweight champion Amanda Nunes and bantamweight title holder Petra Yan will also make title defenses. So, what other matches have we got? We have, well, we'll give you the UFC 259 lineup of matches. Coming up on tomorrow's little gig. That's the Tuesday edition. I'll actually let you know tomorrow is Tuesday. And we're going to bring it home to you. Bring it home to you. It will be powerful. So let's get to it. And this is going to be cool. All right. Let's get to it, kids. Premier League, Everton 1, Southampton nothing. Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid and Real Sociedad tied at 1. Belgian, Oud Heverlee Leuven defeated Royal Antwerp 2-0. Danish Superliga, Lyngby over Stronderslick 4-1. Greek Super League, Olympiacos 2, Volos 1. Portuguese Premier League, Benfica 2-0 over Rio Ave, and Morensens and Belenenses came out of their game, a 2-2 tie. There you go, happy landings. Yep. Okay, that is our BBC. That is our soccer tournament. Let us get to the fun, the excitement of saying hi to some good folks. Yes, that's right. We finally will get to say hi to some people over there on Der Facen Bokensee. Give me one little drinky. Salud. All right. Here we go. We say hello to Christina Peterson, Angela Peterson, Jay the Brain Man, Yuki Tanaka, Anne-Marie Man, Brian Man, Rebecca Paul, Jerry Nichols, Nancy Nichols, our good friend Matthew Nichols, Zach Burton, Yvonne Marie, Rob Rago, Alan Oberoff, Myra Bexley, Duhan, Dwight Duhan, Bobby Langford, Rue Metzler, Brenda Dixon, Anthony Pickerel, Amy Hayes, Frida Hayes, Morris Hayes, the late Isaac Hayes, Ricky Pickerel, Tony Pickerel, Michael Pickerel. I'll say hi to January J. Keaton, the lovely Miss Crystal Hart, the equally charming Miss Sammy Phillips, and congratulations to the newest member of the Penthouse Pet Sister family, Lacey London, March 2021's Penthouse Pet of the Month. We also say, big old hi and how do you do? Yes, hi and how do you do to all the folks over at All Elite Wrestling. By the way, their next pay-per-view is AEW Revolution, which has its main event Kenny Omega versus John Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match. Oh, is that going to be fun to see? You can see it only on pay-per-view and probably select locations.
Close to the television?
We also say a big old hello to everyone on Facebook. Jennifer Torres, how you doing? Sandra Flores. And we also say hi and hello to our friends on Twitter, Audrey Dahlgren, Alex Sims, Nick Mantis, Ian Kress, all my friends at Channel 6, all my friends over at Channel 26 in Houston, including the deliciously delightful Miss Nominally Keith, and all my friends, of course, on Minds, on Gab Social, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, the 1-2 punch of the Tick and the Talk, otherwise known as TikTok. Ain't you glad?
Did you drink Mountain Dew?
All right.
Well, I mean, like, in the movie.
Yeah.
There you go, right there.
I drink Mountain Dew, so.
Let's give you some late media bites. Courtesy of our friends at awfulannouncing.com. And in League Networks news, wow. Many people in current prominent sports media roles started their career either working for free or working for even little than that. Some of those people have in turn tried to promote that approach to those looking to get into sports journalism, but promoting working for free in particular always leads to backlash, and there are some good reasons for that backlash. The latest in point comes from NFL Network's James Slater, who put out a tweet Monday advertising an unpaid opportunity for broadcast journalism students. And it says, in quote, broadcast journalism students, exciting internship opportunity for you. Can you set up well-lit Zoom and Skype calls, record, edit them, and want access to the league's top draft prospects? It's not with Bobby Belt, Texas, but it is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Unpaid, great experience. Inbox us. Or inbox me. Now, it's happened before, notably with Darren Ravel's 2017 suggestion that Chicago Sun-Times should have Northwestern students write 3 recaps of basketball games for them instead of using paid AP recap, but also with many other people who have floated similar ideas. This took a lot of blowback on Twitter, and there's reason for that. Yes, as Slater later pointed out, in follow-up tweets, she got her start with unpaid internships and then low-paying entry-level jobs. Yes, she's far from alone there. Many who responded to her noted the value of unpaid work to their careers. And yes, Slater said the opportunity in question here is not for full-time work, but work a couple of times a week for 6 weeks that would not be there if it were paid.
All right, what's the next spell?
But
you want to fight a little bit before we go?
She did add this. I have listened, engaged, and now have some food for thought. Let me explain this unpaid internship, how we all got here in the comment section, and what I've learned. And it's simple. Twitter isn't the place, but good and bad. And I always hope to learn something. I hope you do too. That's nice to know. And well, that other little doodah. So now let's keep going here. By the way, Sharon Spain has revealed she's part of an ownership group of the Chicago Red Stars National Women's Soccer League team. Bravi. Speaking of ESPN, Reese Davis and ESPN agreed to keep going with a multi-year extension. And the Score. Wow. I thought that had changed names to Sportsnet 360. Anyway.
Find your rhythm.
One of the big stories the past few weeks has been the growing interest in the intersection of sports collectibles with blockchain technology, perhaps most exemplified by the growth in the NBA Top Shot Highlights marketplace. That particular marketplace, which has generated more than $230 million in gross sales as of Sunday, lets consumers buy blockchain-tied non-fungible tokens. That translated to unique digital collectibles of a particular place. There's talk about what that could mean for other sports as well. Amidst that, though, there's still plenty of interest in traditional sports cards, with a 52 Mickey Mantle selling for a record $5.5 million recently, and that would seem to make it a pretty good time for sports media companies to launch content series focusing on both traditional and digital collectibles, which is what the Score is doing with a new Mint Conditions weekly series. It'll air on the Score's Instagram and Facebook accounts. Host Brad Parker will cover trading cards and collectibles from the worlds of sports and pop culture, including NFTs, and will provide insight into marketing trends. Parker will open packs, unbox cards, and answer viewer questions. We wish him luck. And that's your brief on that. And as you know, we like to wrap things up with a look, a see, a sniff, and a howl. That's right, the last 2 minutes of our show, we like to convert to a scoreboard. And we do so with elegant pride. Let's do it. Let's do it to it, kids. Time for the scoreboard. And then we'll say our au revoirs. We'll figure the scoreboard will take us into our little lineable here. Let's go to it. Shallst we? I think we shallst. And let's go to baseball's preseason games. And I'll try to do this in song. The Braves, they beat the Boston Red Sox. 5-3 was the final score. The Marlins of Miami beat the New York Mets 2-0, and there's more. The Yankees beat the Detroit Tigers. 5-4 was the final score. The Phillies and the Orioles, they ended up tied after 7. 4-4, that's all. Minnesota Twins, 6-5 winners. They beat Tampa Bay Rays up so bad, they really came up sinners. The Houston Astros beat the Nats of Washington. You see, 7-6 was the score. Toronto Blue Jays and Pittsburgh Pirates played. They did all 7 innings, and a tie was rightfully made. The Kansas City Royals destroyed the Cleveland team. 8-6 was the final score. Los Angeles Dodgers 10-0 over the Colorado Rockies. Gee, I gotta learn how to sing. Oakland defeated Cincinnati 13-5. You see, Texas and San Francisco tied at 1 after 7 innings of a ball game. The Brewers played 9 innings and beat Arizona 7-1. The Angels of California, though their name is LA2, they tied with the White Sox of Chicago 4-4. The Cubs beat the Padres, and I am glad we're ending this. Their score you won't even know, but you would rightfully miss. They won 1-0. So the Cubs are doing great. And that's all from this song. Cha-cha. That's right. By the way, before we go up any further, the 2021 season of NASCAR has become the year of the non-winner. Chris Buescher won Daytona 500. We had, let me just do this properly, so we'll be getting out of here with Head Held High. Well, okay, Head Held Ducking High. Okay, we had Chris Buescher winning the Daytona 500. We had, we had Michael McDowell winning the Daytona 500. Christopher Bell winning the O'Reilly Auto Parts race on the road course of the Daytona International Speedway. And Sunday, William Byron winning the Dixie 400. Who's going to win in Vegas? Are we going to have a legend, or are we going to have one of these young bucks win? Well, we'll find out this Sunday, March 14th, 3:30 Eastern Time. You can catch the race on Fox or the voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network. So there you go. We went a long way for that to take us on. Now it is time to say goodbye to all our family. It is the end of the show and the end of our sportscast. We'll be back tomorrow night at 11:30. We hope you'll be here too. But for now, for everybody here who is involved in this show in one way or another, including hair, Steve Axley saying thank you as always for your listener and viewership. If you're working on, we got to do this. We didn't do this last week, guys. Or not last week. We didn't do this last night because our time was limited. Let's take a look and see how Mandy Summers and Peter Gilmore and John Malwin did with the thing that we would like to affectionately call Wart the Wizard, the Portal of Echoes. And right now, $5,210. Bravo. 7 days left. Let's raise that more. Let's get that thing up to 12 to 13,000. Like to see that happen. So, as they say, let's show some love. Let's keep going. Back, Wart the Wizard, the Portal of Echoes. Back it and get yourself a perk. It's pretty good. Now, how about how's Eternal Armor doing? Let's find out how Eternal Armor is doing. Let's kick it and show you that Eternal Armor is doing. Wyatt Holiday won OD Best, and Eternal Armor is at $2,950. And what can we say but bravo to the newest member of Comicsgate, Wyatt Holiday. Great job, Wyatt. And to everyone involved in Comicsgate who's got a comic book that's coming up, we comic fans are going to be backing y'all because you are the new lifeblood for an industry that truly needs it. Stan Lee definitely made things worth it, along with others. But as he said, he always saw new talent as the new wave to continue the comic industry tradition with new blood, new ideas, and a fresh attitude. The comic industry needed it, and they got it with Mandy Summers, Wyatt Holliday, Peter Gilmore, and others. Folks, that's it. They're playing us out of here. This ain't the Golden Globes, but still, we have to have music playing us out here. Playing us out of here. So we will talk to you all tomorrow, same time, same place, 11:35. I'm Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Aloha! This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. Thank you very much. In 3, 2, 1, we're out of here.